Welcome back to Houston City Beat Space City Sports. I'm Mike Acosta alongside Gerald Sanchez from Legacy Sports Network. You can find them at lsnsports.com, bringing you all the high school action across the greater Houston area. Gerald, welcome back in for another week.
Well, it's good to be back, and got a big football game coming up on Friday at Turner Stadium in Humble. Atascocita will be hosting the North Shore Mustangs. These two ball clubs usually meet in the playoffs in the regional final because they're in the same district. So they'll meet in the regional final, and it's been North Shore that's been overcoming Atascocita lately. And Atascocita wants what North Shore has. They've got those championships, and it's going to be a great battle coming up on Friday.
It's going to be an electric scene over there at the stadium. Do you think that with all the years that North Shore has maintained and the program that they have had, are they, you kind of allude to, they're kind of catching up to the others now? Is that something that is Atascocita is now building maybe a little bit more than North Shore, or is this just more competitive?
Well, North Shore's got the target on the back. Everybody wants to bring their A game when they play the Mustangs, and Atascocita does have a lot of talent. They are very talented. You know, they also play in that district with Summer Creek, which Summer Creek last year made the Division II state championship game. So that district alone is very, very good, very competitive. It's you got to bring your A game every night, and it gets you ready for the playoffs, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and these games, so you go through the regular season, the playoffs, like you mentioned, are coming, but this kind of feels like, I'm sure it's going to feel like a playoff atmosphere over at the stadium tomorrow night.
It will be. It will be a playoff atmosphere. The thing that I think gives North Shore the advantage is, one, they may have the advantage because of they've been there. They've played in front of big crowds. The coaching staff prepares the young men for that. And it's both teams are very talented. Both teams are great athletes on both sides. North Shore always has that intangible that always gets them over the top.
Yeah. So who do you have on the call this week?
We have Rick Blunt and Carl Thies, and you can watch the game on lsnsports.com.
That's exciting. Yeah. So lsnsports.com, North Shore and Atascocita tomorrow night. What time is the game at?
It'll be a kickoff at 7 o'clock.
7 p.m. on lsnsports.com. Make sure you check out that game, and they'll have all the action. Of course, you have an array of other games on the Legacy Sports Network as well, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So go to lsnsports.com, check out the games that Gerald has lined up for the weekend, and that big one with North Shore and Atascocita tomorrow night, kickoff at 7 p.m. And now, Gerald, last night was opening night of the Rockets season, and it kind of like it's different. You and I have talked about this before, where the NBA season opening day versus a Major League Baseball opening day is kind of a different feel.
It is. They don't have necessarily or nearly the pomp and circumstance that they do. And I was thinking about it. Is it just because of the length of the season? It's both. As far as calendar goes, it's about the same, but they play the double amount of games in baseball that they do in basketball. But still, good crowd on hand last night at Toyota Center. And unfortunately, the Rockets came up short. They had an 18-point lead, and they were moving the ball around, but in the second half, the ball didn't go through the hoop as much as they wanted to, and they lost by 5, 110-105 to the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, so hopefully they're looking to kind of, they're heading in the right direction. The Houston Rockets are definitely heading in the right direction, and they hopefully maybe can make the postseason this year.
That would be great if they could make the playoffs. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2020. That was during the bubble when they played in Orlando when it was the COVID situation, and James Harden and Russell Westbrook were on the Rockets. Got a brand new ball club as far as faces go, and it's led by they have some really good talent. Young talent. Alperen Şengün he just got extended to a 5-year deal just earlier this week. And I think that they have the pieces necessary to make a playoff run, and it's that seasoning that they need to get over the hump.
Correct. So hopefully it looks bright for them, and they have the right pieces in motion, and they can get to the postseason. All right, now. So yesterday, I want to touch base on this a little bit because, the Yankees and the Dodgers are going to start the World Series on Friday night. And Brian Cashman, it's all over the place. Brian Cashman, the general manager of the Yankees, yesterday talked to Chris Russo, the Mad Dog Russo, right, from MLB Network. And Chris had a great question for him because it's been 15 years since the Yankees went to the World Series. And he asked him, just plain and simple, hey, how does it feel, right? It's like you should be excited. And Cashman, who is the guy who has brought a lot of these players to the team and to New York, and the first thing out of his mouth is this, and I'm going to read you the quote, okay? So Russo asked him a question about the 15 years. Hey, how does it feel? And this is exactly what Brian Cashman had to say. Quote, I hate the 15-year thing because it completely forgets and discounts that some other organization cheated us when we were all the way in the end. If you knew what was going on, I don't think they would be advancing during that time. I think we would have been advancing. I hate that 15-year thing because I don't think it accurately reflects history. Now, he doesn't say Houston in that quote, but we all know that Brian Cashman is talking about the Houston Astros in 2017.
Wow. Start spreading the news, huh?
Well, that's some kind of news right there. I mean, I would think that Cashman would have been a lot more excited to talk about, hey, our guys are here. We're excited. We're proud of them. This is what we're doing, and talk about where they're at now. No, Houston is rent free in his mind, and it's total opposite of what you would have expected. Well, maybe not.
I would think so. I mean, the Yankees have that tradition and their history, and here they are in the World Series. Let's celebrate, right? Let's embrace the moment and take on the opponent, the Los Angeles Dodgers. But when you're starting to refer to the other organization, wow.
Well, I mean, you also so look. A lot of the talk has been, hey, it's New York and LA, and a lot of people online were talking about how, MLB wants it to be New York and LA for ratings and all this and that. And now you got it. And that's a headline in itself to talk about because there's history between the Dodgers and the Yankees organizations in the World Series. But one of the things that, it's like living in a glass house because what Cashman, he didn't think about, obviously, when he was in that interview is in 2017, the Yankee organization, remember, they were fined $100,000 for sign stealing and of course using the relaying real-time information from the team replay room to the Yankees dugout, and they were fined $100,000 for that, and that was undisclosed for many years. Remember, that was that letter that the Yankees organization fought to keep under wraps, and it finally came out. So to me, it's very hypocritical for Cashman to come out, and I think it's a disservice as a general manager of a major league club that you're leading, that you are there for the first time in a decade and a half, to start talking about another team that you still hold a grudge, that you still have an emotional attachment to, that you just can't get over the hump, and look at where you're at now.
Yankees and Cashman definitely throwing the first stone, huh?
They are, and it was it's so it just doesn't seem right. I mean, if I'm the owner of the New York Yankees, I want my GM. I don't care who it is, Brian Cashman. I don't care if he's been here, if this was his first year or if he's been there for several years, whatever it is. I would prefer that my GM is talking about where my team is right now and talking about all the good things that are moving forward. I wouldn't talk about the past. That just looks bitter.
Adding fuel to the fire to the rivalry.
Yeah. I mean, and in Houston, I mean, every time Houston has played the Yankees in the postseason, the Astros and the Yankees, I mean, look what happened. The Astros, the Astros were just better teams than the Yankees in those years.
They have been. They have been the better team and the better organization over the last 10 years. The Yankees have not even made to the World Series until now.
No, it was the first year of that new stadium. The new Yankee Stadium was brand new in 2009. and that was the last time they were in the World Series and won it that year.
Yeah, they beat the Angels in the championship series and beat the Phillies in the World Series. Their Phillies were the defending world champions at the time.
So just a kind of a, I would call it a bonehead move to really make that comment publicly, because there are things against your own team, that things that went on with your club. Now, I'm not defending the Astros and what happened and all that type of stuff, but I'm putting this more in perspective of doing a service to the organization that you work for, and also that your club and it's publicly known. There's public this information is out there. It's not like it's behind closed doors and this is speculation. This really happened. They were caught doing those things that they were fined for in 2017. It was just swept under the rug by the league until a court decided, yes, we have to open up this letter so it can be knowledge. So it just doesn't make much sense to me.
No, it doesn't. The timing doesn't make sense. The timing doesn't make sense, or the whole thing. But he put it out there, and it's definitely something the Astro fans will rally around probably for next season.
Yeah, I think this is something that maybe they can get fired up about, and when the Yankees come to town, no matter what happens in this World Series with the Dodgers, perhaps this will fire up. I think there'll probably be a few signs out there. I think we'll be hearing about it again when the Yankees pay a trip to Houston in 2025. So, Gerald, give me that big matchup once again, Friday night on the LSNsports.com.
It'll be North Shore against Atascocita, and it'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. And this is for most likely the district championship. Playoff seeding is also important in this situation, and everybody can watch on lsnsports.com.
He's Gerald Sanchez. I'm Mike Acosta. Thanks for joining us this week on Space City Sports here along Houston City Beat. Once again, go listen to those games on lsnsports.com and also visit HoustonCityBeat.com, where we are the storytellers of Houston. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great day.